Hello, this is Bug News, and we're live. Today, we're going to talk about. Sorry for the feedback there. Yeah, today we're going to talk about uh, Diddy, uh, DJ Envy, Peter Thomas, and Zadia from Ready to Love Make a Move. Um, well, let's start out with Zadia and her situation on the show. Um, Currently, so what happened was that Zadia had been assigned to go out on a date with Cameron, and apparently, as you can see here, they said that they were in a car for a period of time. Oh, they went out in the city in New Orleans. That's where they're located. So, but Zadia left at the house probably, I don't know, 9 a.m. Excuse me, 9 p.m. and didn't come back till the next morning. And she was locked out. Now, people are saying that no one spends that much amount of time out in New Orleans in the city just sitting in the car talking. In addition to that, they're saying that the two people have too many paths that have crossed. Sally went to the University of Houston. Cameron went to the University of Houston. Um, I think or he was across the street or something. They both went to high school in Atlanta. Um, at one point, Zadia did go to North Carolina AT&T. She transferred to University of Houston for whatever reason, but hey, maybe she was a wild child and the parents brought her back or transferred her off somewhere else if she was in Atlanta. But um, no one will, really knows, only these two. Um, but people thinking that, maybe it was some late night rendezvous that was going on. Zadia during their time with talking with Cameron said that, it had been some time since she had some healing, if you know what I mean. Um, but that was just quite interesting that, people have their different sides. It said she was lying when she was asked was she in the house at night. They didn't specifically ask if she slept in the house till the morning. They just said, "Were you in the house at night?" Because technically she was in the house at night, to some degree. Um, Next on our list, we have DJ Envy. And if you haven't heard, um, DJ Envy is, I don't know to say loosely um, or I don't know what to say loosely or it's very close. He's associated with a Ponzi scheme allegedly. A person that he had been on tour with for some time, and also the guy has been up to the radio station, and he has been on the radio station, and the guy, I think his name is Caesar, been on the radio station, talking about real estate investment, things like that. So I guess Caesar was handling people money as investments for real estate, which I don't know if he was licensed for, because usually if you're doing some type of asset and handling people money, you have to be registered, from my understanding, but I could be wrong. Or at least a company or something, because you're handling people money, and the government wants to know what you're doing with that money. And you probably have to have certain types of insurance and a certain type of escrow too. But people they blindly gave their money to this guy, and they never saw any return on their money when asked for it back, allegedly. But What happened, as many of you know, okay, DJ, he works at iHeart under iHeartRadio for Power 105 in New York, and he has a syndicated show called The Breakfast Club, and he himself works there. But what happened, which once the guy Caesar got arrested, it, didn't really affect Envy. Uh, but Envy, well, no one ever said Envy's office was raided. What is going out in the media is that iHeart iHeart offices were raided at Envy Works, and laptops and some other equipment was taken. Now, in addition to this, Envy's wife allegedly was taking down expensive items off her IG, and so some people were speculating that she may have done that because if any of those items were obtained through illegal money, they're going to confiscate those items. And of course, all the cars and things like that. We don't know if those are going to be forfeited. I'm not too sure of the technical term, but just like they just want to see if any, for some reason, they think that in these laptops, not well, we don't know if they're going to be laptop, but the laptops that were confiscated from iHeart offices may have uh, illegal activity on there, emails, paperwork, bookings. We don't know. Okay. In addition to this, Envy, still out here. He is he was spotted at Howard Homecoming. I guess he had to host, still got to go around the country hosting gigs. Where and I think if I would have been canceling gigs, but he's still hosting gigs, and he's still, I think, like you said, he's still working the radio. So people's going to be listening to the radio every day to see if they don't hear him for a couple of days. Along with that, iHeart posted the job uh, to be specifically a co-host of the Breakfast Club, and I think the starting salary is like 300,000. Um, and they listed a couple of things. So hey, I suggest everyone apply for that job. So whatever it is, you send it in. You might get lucky. Now, some people saying it's Envy's job, but it probably, of course, Envy probably makes ways more than that. But he or he makes way less than that, but I'm pretty sure it's more than that. He and Charlamagne. So, um, so they have that up, and now people saying that that's Envy's job. But from what I'm told, probably as long as he's not charged or maybe even convicted, he probably won't lose his job. And then if he's charged and he's given some type of time and an ankle monitoring, he still may not lose his job because there's been people who've had, and they had no federal charges, but who have had DUIs, and they didn't lose their job. Other situations, they didn't lose their job. I guess it was only a direct embarrassment to the station. Like I said, because all those syndications, I know they're syndicated in a lot of markets. When I mean a lot, more than 10. Um, that it's a lot of money tied to just automatically just rebrand. That's gonna cause some lawsuits. It may cause some lawsuits on Envy. Now, now the Caesar guy, he's going around filing lawsuits against people, and he's going around, and they, I guess what it's called is slant. He's saying that they're slandering his name, and he, I guess he feels, slighted because this is affecting him. And when I mean him, Caesar, not Envy. Um, and I guess I guess they're gonna have to come forward. Maybe it's a strategy because they would have to come forward. Maybe his lawsuit cases will come forward before his federal cases. And if that is the case, they're gonna have to answer questions. How did you do this and this, and then they can take that evidence because it's in the testimony, and then they can use it for his federal case. So, um, like I said, we saw Envy. We had video. Video got jacked up. Um, Like I said, he wasn't, didn't see him under duress or anything. Only thing I can say, I think he left in a yellow Cherokee or beige or brown Cherokee, and he left. He didn't. He might have been there early. So let's say the thing, when I say there early at the Howard Homecoming Yard Fest, let's say start at 12. Because he's DJ and hype man for that time slot. Uh, then after 12, he he rolled out, and or he left from what I saw. But he took pictures with people. He didn't shun anyone away or anything like that. Like I said, we didn't really ask him any questions. He was there. Um, Living his best life and what he does in the radio industry. I'm not sure how it's going to. No one's sure what's going to happen. I mean, people speculate like crazy, trolling like crazy, but no one knows really what's going to happen. Um, until is the rest. Now, some people say, he might be, because FBI headquarters is in Washington D.C. He might, be down there singing, um, or he's doing something. So we don't know. Um, Now he probably, does have some political connections, and if we see envy at the Congressional Black Caucus next year, that means, he went down somebody and started crying, and now he got to pay his debt by showing up to the Congressional Black Caucus, um, showing up there to make sure his pays back his debt, and that's all alleged. But that's like a little joke. Whenever you see a celebrity at the Congressional Black Caucus, they looking for something or they owe somebody something. Because a lot of them don't show up. You would think more of them would show up for the Congressional Black Caucus or any of the other caucuses um, that go on, but a lot of them don't. I guess unless they're also speaking on the panel in that aspect or singing or something, pushing a book or whatever. But I mean, that's all we currently have about envy. Um, Now, what we do know is people are watching envy heavy. Um, Next up, we have Brother Love Diddy. Um, he he currently is he currently he was at Howard Homecoming, and um I think he did some performances and things like that, and then he uh gave away, I guess, well, $1 million to Howard University. And he had recently gave away $1 million to Jackson State, but it was directed to the football team. But as you know, Diddy is an alumni of Howard, and it's video of him, performing and talking and stuff. So I don't know if this made national news, but this made local news um, in the DMV area. Now, as you know, Diddy's under scrutiny himself for uh, the arrest of the person that um, was involved in the Tupac um, situation. I don't want to use the wrong word. And so we don't we don't know how it's working out, but Diddy, he's floating around, and he's also um, he's floating around. He's not in jail. He's on the East Coast, so he's able to travel and and live and do his best life with what's going on currently. Um, we don't know if he's going to face any time or anything. or was it just water under the bridge for him? And as we know, Diddy does have he does have resources to defend himself if anything happens. And then I mean by resources, lawyer money. Whereas many, might be strain. Like with Emmy, we don't know if that's going to just drain him. He has money, and he's been successful for a long time. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, if we move on to our best friend, uh, Peter Thomas. So Peter, he's going to a little thing with the restaurant, as we all know. But Peter was on his live recently, and what he was talking about was his he somehow was part of some event back in the day with rappers in Miami, and I think it's called "Who Put You On" or "How Do I Get On," something like that, sort of like a Jack the Rapper. But he's on there saying, um, because he said people was reaching out to him, was he going to do something for 50 years of hip hop? And I do know Peter was somehow involved in entertainment, but then he was listing names of people, that attended this event. Then after they came to his seminars or what have you, they got put on. I mean, they did have talent. They came with the talent, and he's saying that because of him, that's why they're successful today. Now, mind you, like I said, they came with the talent, but he's saying the reason that they're okay. So I guess maybe he did the business side with them to help them out in that aspect, but we don't really know, right? We just know what he's telling us, unless others come forward. So he was on there crying. He wasn't literally crying, but he was complaining, and he was saying that he made these people, um, these individuals and other rappers. He listed like Fat Joe. He listed, I think, DJ Khaled. He listed a couple other people doing this live, which I found pretty interesting. Um, but I was just wondering, why was he saying something about it now? Well, everybody they planned this 50 years of hip hop thing out probably a year and a half ago. So why would he be doing anything now towards the end of the year? Most of these things were planned out, I kid you not, a year and a half ago. They were not just planned out recently. So I mean, I think they had like one big event at Yankee Stadium. They got stuff going on at the Kennedy Center all this month. They have stuff all across the country, and then they got the tours. LL Cool J and others are on tour. So this stuff, was at least probably 2 years ago. So what would he have to say if something that's been planned out for 2-3 years? They know 50 years of hip hop is coming up. They know they're getting sponsors. They know they got to do these tour days. Mind you, we just kind of over the hump with isolation and COVID and things like that. So why? I mean, what was the point of that? To some degree, what was his motive? I mean, if you just want credibility, that's cool. I mean, you let us know that you was involved in hip hop, but we don't. You documented it, but we don't really know to what level you were involved. Now, do other people come forward and vouch for you? Yeah, that'd be cool. They kind of vouch for you, but I guess that's what it is. People not including him in all these things around the country. They're not including him, and I'm pretty sure they probably have something in Miami too. Because this is where he says it's happening, but I'm not sure if he still lives in Miami. I think he's still like around here somewhere. But long story short, he probably just wants some validation at one of the events. and he was left out. I'm pretty sure he's not the only one that's been left out. May have similar concerns because it's 50 years of hip hop. Next should be 51, so 51 they gonna count with they got nice round numbers, no odd numbers. Maybe at 55 years of hip hop, they'll bring him up, yeah, or give him some type of recognition, but not at not at not at this 50 years when they done probably planned this all out 2 years ago minimum. And then they had a pandemic, so these rappers trying to make up that money, the time that they miss. Um, but yeah, who who knows? Who knows how this is going to play out for Peter? I don't think it's going to play out the way he wants it to play out, and we hope that um, he gets his what do you call it? His restaurants back in order, and he can go down that road. But if he's successful in the music industry, I'm not too sure why he left. But this is just a little, live for today, and talk about various things. This is Bug News. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much.